They say the early bird catches the worm. But reflect upon this axiom with a deeper understanding, with a discerning eye for the subtle truths that often elude casual observation. Is the acquisition of a mere worm truly the full measure of one's ambition, or is it nothing more than a fleeting, almost trivial reward for a most rudimentary effort? Consider profoundly the possibility that the grander prize, the true overarching triumph, is not some minor gain, but rather the sovereign possession of the entire unfolding day itself. What if, before the incessant, often chaotic demands of the world begin their relentless assault upon your faculties, before the external forces attempt to dictate your pace, your mood, your very focus, you have already engaged in, and indeed unequivocally won, the most crucial battle of your entire existence? This is not a rhetorical flourish. It is a fundamental truth waiting to be seized. This profound concept transcends simple time management. It delves into the very architecture of your personal power. Many perceive the day as a cascade of events to be reacted to, a series of fires to be put out. But the discerning mind, the mind attuned to the principles of lasting achievement, understands the morning as a strategic advantage, an unseen battlefield where the victory of your day is either secured or surrendered. What kind of battle is this, you might ask? It is a battle fought not with fists or weapons, but with conscious thought, with disciplined intent, against the insidious forces of procrastination, against the subtle whispers of doubt, against the erosion of your most sacred purpose. This internal war, waged long before any physical action takes place, determines the very quality, the very potency of every subsequent effort you will exert. The stakes are nothing less than the trajectory of your entire life. Napoleon Hill, in his meticulous study of success, did not merely offer superficial insights into how one might accumulate material wealth or cultivate fleeting positive thoughts. His profound observations illuminated the precise, critical moments when an individual must truly arm their consciousness, fortify their spirit, and sharpen their mental tools for the grand, overarching campaign of a successful life. That moment, that profound, almost sacred strategic advantage, commences not within the bustling, often distracting confines of an office, nor amid the clamor of the market, nor even within the superficial pleasantries of social interaction. No. It begins rather in the profound quietude, the hallowed stillness, of the hours before dawn. This isn't merely a suggestion for early rising. It is a directive for intentional self-creation. Within this pristine window, untouched by the world's insistent clamor, you find fertile ground for what Hill termed auto-suggestion. This is not passive dreaming. It is the active, conscious programming of your subconscious mind with your definite purpose, with the unwavering belief in your capacity to achieve it. This is where you lay the mental blueprints, where you impress upon your inner world the exact outcomes you seek to manifest in your outer reality. The raw materials of your day, your thoughts, your energy, your focus, are all shaped here in this powerful crucible of dawn. To neglect this period, to allow it to be consumed by distraction or indifference, is to surrender your greatest opportunity for self-mastery, to forfeit the chance to orchestrate your day from a position of absolute power. Consider this, then, with unwavering honesty. Are you passively permitting your mornings to impose the conditions of your day upon you, allowing external circumstances to dictate your internal state and your subsequent actions? Or are you, with a deliberate, almost ritualistic intent, actively forging the very strength, the mental resilience, the emotional fortitude, the unshakable purpose required not just for coping with life, but for truly conquering it, for bringing your grandest visions into tangible reality? The distinction is not merely academic. It is the fundamental divergence between a life lived reactively and a life architected with profound, purposeful power. Each new dawn presents this paramount choice. Many, indeed, speak of morning routines. They discuss the merits of a quick jog, a silent meditation, perhaps a simple review of one's calendar. But consider deeply whether these superficial practices truly capture the essence of what constitutes a powerful beginning. Napoleon Hill, in his meticulous dissection of success, understood something far, far deeper than mere habit formation. He recognized that true enduring strength, the kind that propels individuals from obscurity to extraordinary achievement, is not constructed by the simple act of waking early. No, it is forged meticulously and intentionally by shaping your inner world, by consciously directing the vast, often untapped powers of your mind long before the external world has the opportunity, or indeed the audacity, to impose its chaotic will or corrupt your nascent resolve. This is a distinction of profound significance, one that separates the truly successful from those who merely drift through their days. This is not merely about gaining an extra hour or two at the beginning of the day. That would be a trivialization of a sacred opportunity. This, my friend, is about waking up, not to the blare of an alarm, but to your inherent, undeniable power. It is about seizing the reins of your consciousness, about becoming the undisputed master of your mental domain, rather than a mere passenger buffeted by circumstance. The morning hours, particularly those silent moments before the general populace stirs, represent a crucible of creation. Here, in this pristine solitude, you possess an unparalleled opportunity to impress upon your subconscious mind the precise desires, the unshakable beliefs, and the carefully crafted plans that will guide your entire day, and indeed, your entire life. Are you truly leveraging this unparalleled leverage point, or are you squandering it? Hill knew that the mind, left undirected, becomes a fertile ground for doubt, for fear, for the limiting beliefs that sabotage aspiration before it even has a chance to breathe. The morning, therefore, is not merely a time for activity, it is a time for strategic introspection, for mental engineering. It is the moment to invoke the principle of a definite purpose, to visualize it so vividly that it takes on the texture of reality, burning itself into the very fabric of your being. This isn't a passive wish, it is an active command to your own subconscious, a declaration of intent that resonates with the universe itself. How precisely do you articulate that purpose each morning? Is it a vague notion or a crystal-clear directive? True strength, you see, is not just about what you do. It is fundamentally about what you become. Your mornings are the foundational moments for this becoming. They are not merely for completing tasks, for crossing items off a list, for engaging in routine drudgery. They are for the deliberate, conscious act of self-creation and alignment of your deepest desires with your daily intentions. This alignment, when rigorously practiced, transforms your very being, molding you into the individual capable of achieving your most audacious goals. It is the continuous daily refinement of your character, your resolve, and your unshakable faith in your own potential. Without this internal transformation, external actions often fall flat, lacking the essential power of conviction. Therefore, understand this with unwavering clarity. We are not merely outlining a series of superficial habits to be adopted. We are instead uncovering a profound, time-tested blueprint for a truly strong morning, a framework designed not merely to improve your productivity, but to transform you into an unstoppable force. This blueprint, derived directly from the unassailable wisdom of Napoleon Hill, empowers you to orchestrate your day, to direct your energy, and to solidify your purpose, all from the potent vantage point of a morning seized with intention. Are you prepared to embrace this level of deliberate mastery? Now let us delve into the very first pillar, the cornerstone upon which all lasting strength is built, the mental mastermind hour. Consider this not as mere meditation, for its scope is far grander, its purpose far more acute. This is a practice of singularly directed thought, a precise, intentional utilization of the morning's profound quietude for a powerful self-consultation, for an unwavering visioning, and for the deliberate mental programming that draws directly from the bedrock principles I meticulously outline throughout my work. This hour is not about passively clearing your mind. It is about actively, forcefully, and intelligently shaping it. Many individuals mistakenly believe that meditation primarily serves as a means of relaxation, a fleeting escape from the day's impending pressures. While tranquility certainly holds its own value, my teachings, my very philosophy, point towards a far more potent application of this morning solitude. The generic advice to simply clear your mind often misses the fundamental point of cultivating definite purpose and applied faith. True mental mastery, in the context of creating tangible success, demands more than mere emptiness. It requires a deliberate, focused channeling of your mental energy towards specific, predetermined objectives. It is the disciplined act of impressing upon your subconscious mind the exact blueprint of your desires, transforming vague hopes into concrete, actionable designs. Within this sacred mental mastermind hour, I propose an exercise I term the silent partner. Have you ever considered the immense, often untapped power residing within your own subconscious mind? It is a vast reservoir of intuition, of accumulated knowledge, of profound wisdom that operates tirelessly, even beyond your conscious awareness. For too long, humanity has overlooked this internal ally, seeking counsel solely from external sources. But what if you could, each morning, precisely at the cusp of wakefulness, consciously engage with this silent partner, your own inner genius, to solve your most pressing challenges? This is not spiritual mysticism. It is psychological science applied to personal achievement. To engage in this silent partner exercise, the process is deceptively simple, yet monumentally powerful. Upon waking, before the noise of the world intrudes, before the demands of others lay claim to your attention, spend moments in a state of receptive silence. Instead of allowing your thoughts to scatter aimlessly, bring to mind your definite purpose, or a specific problem for which you seek a solution, or perhaps an opportunity you wish to seize with greater clarity. Then, consciously and deliberately, pose a powerful, crystal-clear question to your subconscious mind. Ask it, for instance, what is the single most important action I must take today to advance my definite purpose? Or, what hidden insight am I overlooking regarding this particular challenge? Then, and this is crucial, enter into a state of expectant receptivity. Do not force the answer. Simply listen. The solutions, the insights, the directions you seek often emerge not as thunderous pronouncements, but as quiet intuitions, as sudden flashes of understanding, as a profound sense of certainty about the next logical step. This is the application of the mastermind principle, not with external allies, but with the unparalleled power of your own inner being. Following this consultation with your silent partner, the next vital step within your mental mastermind hour is the conscious programming of your success through autosuggestion. This is where faith, in its most active and applied form, truly manifests. It is insufficient to merely think positive thoughts, as so many simplistic doctrines prescribe. For autosuggestion to be a dynamic force, it must be precise, emotionally charged, and delivered with an unwavering belief in its eventual manifestation. Craft precise, succinct statements, affirmations if you will, that directly relate to your daily goals, to your long-term vision, and most importantly, to the kind of person you are becoming in pursuit of these goals. These are not empty words. They are commands to your subconscious, instructions that shape your reality. But merely reciting these statements, even if precise, is only half the equation. The true power resides in feeling them. As you articulate your affirmations, truly immerse yourself in the emotion of already having achieved your desired outcome. Feel the satisfaction, the gratitude, the certainty of success as if it has already occurred. This emotional charge is the vital ingredient, the fuel that ignites your subconscious mind, imprinting upon it the desired outcomes with indelible force. Your subconscious, you must understand, cannot differentiate between a vividly imagined experience and one that has actually transpired. When you feed it images and feelings of success, it begins to work tirelessly, arranging circumstances, inspiring ideas, and guiding your actions towards the realization of that programmed reality. This, indeed, is applied faith in its most practical, most powerful form. Consider the profound leverage this affords you. By consciously directing your thoughts and emotions during these sacred morning hours, you are not simply preparing for the day. You are actively creating it. You are planting seeds of success in the most fertile ground imaginable, within the undisturbed clarity of your own mind. To neglect this power is to allow random external forces to dictate your mental landscape, to permit the anxieties and distractions of the world to usurp the very foundation of your potential. The Mental Mastermind Hour is your shield against mental chaos, your sword against self-doubt, and the compass that unerringly points you toward your definite purpose. Having completed the profound work of the Mental Mastermind Hour, where your subconscious has been primed and your desires impressed upon the fertile ground of your inner being, we now turn our attention to the second indispensable pillar: architecting your day's conquest. This is not merely about constructing a mundane to-do list, a common, yet often superficial practice that many mistakenly equate with true productivity. No, my friend, this phase is about something far more strategic, far more fundamental to the realization of your definite purpose. This is the moment where you, with the foresight and precision of a master architect, lay the foundational stones, the critical structural elements of your definite purpose for the day. It is a phase of deliberate, organized planning and decisive action, conceived and executed before the world has a chance to distract or dilute your resolve. Many individuals approach their day with a scattered energy, reacting to whatever demands attention first, chasing urgencies rather than pursuing strategic objectives. This haphazard approach is anathema to the principles of lasting achievement. It results in effort expended without direction, activity without corresponding progress. How can one expect to reach a distant, lofty goal if each step taken is merely a reaction to immediate stimuli rather than a conscious stride along a predetermined path? True success, as countless individuals of extraordinary accomplishment have demonstrated, is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of design. And that design begins in the quiet, undisturbed hours of your morning. Your morning is not merely a time for the compilation of tasks. That would be a gross underestimation of its potential. It is unequivocally a time for strategic alignment. It is the crucible where your grand, overarching vision for your life, your definite purpose, is translated into the concrete, actionable steps that will, inevitably, bridge the gap between where you are and where you intend to be. Consider the master builder who would never commence construction without a meticulously detailed blueprint. Would he allow random subcontractors to begin laying bricks in arbitrary locations? Assuredly not. He would consult his plans, prioritize the foundational elements, and then direct his resources with unwavering precision. You, too, must adopt this mental discipline for your own life's grand project. The common trap, as I have observed repeatedly, is to confuse activity with accomplishment, to mistake a lengthy list of tasks for meaningful progress. People often create exhaustive inventories of every conceivable thing they could do, only to feel overwhelmed, defeated, and ultimately unproductive. This approach lacks the critical ingredient of intelligent decision and selective focus. Instead, we must move beyond the superficiality of the to-do list and embrace a more profound method. The bridge to your goal. Planning. This method demands that you scrutinize your daily intentions through the lens of your ultimate definite purpose. Instead of merely listing tasks, the question you must pose to yourself, with ruthless honesty, is this: what are the 1 to 3 critical actions that, if completed today, would most directly serve and advance my overarching definite purpose? Note the emphasis here. Critical actions. not simply any action. These are the non-negotiable tasks, the pivotal movements that unlock further progress, the levers that move your grand project forward significantly. Anything else, however seemingly important, becomes secondary, even tertiary. This requires a profound understanding of priority, a clear vision of your endpoint, and the courage to disregard the trivial in favor of the truly consequential. Will you dedicate your precious morning energy to sweeping the floor when the foundation of your empire remains unbuilt? The analogy is stark, but the principle is absolute. This is where the principle of organized planning, so central to the success stories I documented, truly comes to life. It is not enough to merely know your definite purpose. You must systematically organize your daily efforts in direct service of it. Each day's plan becomes a miniature blueprint, a micro-strategy for advancing your larger vision. What are the specific steps, however small, that must be taken today to build that bridge to your goal? Break down your grand objective into manageable, daily components. This is the art of translating abstract aspiration into concrete, daily executable steps. This demands clarity, foresight, and an unwavering commitment to your ultimate aim, complementing the bridge to your goal. Planning is the indispensable practice of pre-paving the path through decisive action, particularly regarding the key decisions that will shape your day. This means making critical choices before external pressures arise, before the noise of the world begins to clamor for your attention, before others seek to influence your direction. Who precisely will you communicate with today that is essential to your progress? What specific challenge, the one you might instinctively wish to postpone, will you confront and tackle first, thereby removing its mental burden from your day? More importantly, what are the numerous distractions, the time-wasting requests, the energy-sapping diversions that you will decisively say no to? The ability to make swift, firm decisions, a hallmark of all truly successful individuals, is honed in these quiet morning hours. By predetermining your course, by making these micro-decisions regarding your focus, your energy allocation, and your boundaries, you establish an impenetrable fortress around your most valuable resource, your time and your mental clarity. You prevent the insidious erosion of your purpose by external forces. You become the master of your own agenda, rather than a mere pawn in the agendas of others. This proactive decision-making instills a sense of control, a profound inner calm, and an unshakable confidence that will ripple through every hour of your day. Consider the mental liberation that comes from knowing with absolute certainty what your primary objectives are and having already made the decisions necessary to pursue them. The mental energy that others expend in wrestling with indecision throughout their day, you have already harnessed and directed towards productive effort. The anxieties of what to do next, the paralysis of choice, are preempted and dissolved. This state of mental clarity, born from decisive morning planning, frees your mind to focus entirely on execution, on the diligent application of your faculties to the tasks at hand. It is an immense strategic advantage, a silent declaration of your unwavering intent. Therefore, as you conclude your mental mastermind hour, transition seamlessly into this phase of architecting your day's conquest. Ask yourself, with conviction, what are the 3 highest impact tasks I will complete today? And how does each of these directly contribute to my definite purpose? By consistently applying this disciplined approach, by meticulously planning and decisively acting in these crucial morning moments, you are not merely organizing a day. You are, in fact, systematically constructing the bridge to your aspirations, one carefully laid stone at a time. This is how intention transforms into achievement, how dreams are forged into reality. Having now meticulously charted your course for the day, with your definite purpose firmly impressed upon your subconscious, and your critical actions clearly delineated, a crucial element remains. For even the most brilliant blueprint, the most precise plan, can falter without the necessary driving force, the very fuel that ignites action and sustains momentum. This brings us to the third indispensable pillar, the fuel of unwavering belief, the activation of enthusiasm and applied faith. This phase is not merely about positive thinking, it is about injecting a potent emotional charge into your being, transforming abstract belief into tangible energy that propels you forward, overcoming every impediment. Consider this deeply. Is it not true that many individuals possess admirable plans, noble intentions, and even a degree of knowledge, yet they remain perpetually tethered to the starting line, unable to translate their aspirations into actual achievement? The missing ingredient, more often than not, is this potent emotional fire, this unwavering belief that their goal is not only possible, but inevitable. Enthusiasm, as I have taught, is contagious, yes, but more importantly, it is a powerful internal force. It is not a fleeting burst of excitement. It is a sustained, burning desire, rooted deeply in your definite purpose, emanating from an unshakable conviction that you will achieve what you have set out to do. This profound mental state, when cultivated and unleashed in your morning hours, becomes an unstoppable torrent that sweeps away doubt, fear, and inertia. To truly activate this fuel, we must move beyond the superficial and engage with the deeper mechanics of the human psyche. My studies revealed that belief is not merely a mental assent, it is an emotional state, a feeling of certainty. How, then, do we systematically cultivate this feeling? How do we build an inner reservoir of absolute conviction? The answer lies in a deliberate, methodical approach, one that leverages our own past triumphs and harnesses our physiological states. Let us first address what I term the gratitude catalyst. This is not the passive, generalized being thankful that so many vaguely advocate. While a grateful heart is commendable, for our purpose of fueling unwavering belief, we require a more potent, targeted application. This exercise demands that you actively recall specific instances from your past where you faced a challenge, perhaps even one that seemed insurmountable at the time, and through your perseverance, ingenuity, or sheer will, you ultimately triumphed. Recall that moment of victory. Relive the sensations, the mental clarity, the feeling of accomplishment. Remember the resources you brought to bear, the lessons learned, the strength you discovered within yourself. Why this specific recall? Because these are not mere memories. They are irrefutable proof points. They are demonstrations, etched into your very being, of your own capability, your resilience, and your innate power to overcome. By bringing these specific triumphs to the forefront of your consciousness, especially in the quietude of your morning, you are not just reminiscing. You are reactivating the emotional state of winning, of succeeding against odds. You are providing your subconscious mind with undeniable evidence that you are indeed a person capable of great things, a person who can and does achieve. This ignites an inner fire of self-confidence, a cornerstone of applied faith. It is a powerful affirmation, not spoken with words alone, but with the visceral feeling of past, undeniable success. This deliberate act of self-validation generates an emotional charge, a palpable energy that asserts, I have done it before, I can and will do it again. It is the constant reinforcement of your own track record, ensuring that your belief is built upon the solid rock of experience, not the shifting sands of mere hope. Following this cultivation of inner certainty, we must then address the physical dimension, for the mind and body are inextricably linked. This leads us to the concept of movement as momentum. Let me be clear. This is not about embarking on an exhaustive fitness regimen in your morning. Its purpose is far more strategic, directly impacting your mental clarity and enthusiasm. Hill recognized that physical stagnation often precipitates mental stagnation. A body devoid of purposeful movement can easily harbor a mind clouded by lethargy, hindering its ability to generate creative ideas or maintain focused attention. Therefore, engage in a brief, invigorating physical activity whose primary objective is not merely caloric expenditure or muscle building, but the generation of kinetic energy, the deliberate stimulation of your physiological system. This could be a series of dynamic stretches, a brisk walk around your immediate environment, or a short, intense burst of movement. The key is the intentional activation of your body to shake off the vestiges of sleep, to oxygenate your brain, and to create an immediate, palpable sensation of vitality and readiness. As your body moves, your mind awakens. This seemingly simple act is a strategic maneuver to clear mental cobwebs, to sharpen your senses, and to create an immediate, albeit small, sense of accomplishment that feeds directly into your burgeoning enthusiasm. It is a physical declaration that you are ready, that you are alive, and that you are prepared to engage fully with the day. This physical vitality becomes a potent ally in sustaining your mental focus and emotional drive. Finally, to saturate your entire being with the positive emotional charge essential for unwavering belief, we must harness the power of sensory input through what I call the purpose pulse. Your subconscious mind responds profoundly to stimuli, and by carefully curating what you see and hear in these crucial morning moments, you can powerfully reinforce your definite purpose. This is not about passive entertainment. It is about deliberate, strategic inspiration. Engage with content that directly resonates with your core mission. This might involve revisiting a powerful quote from a master of success that encapsulates your philosophy, watching a very short video clip of someone achieving a milestone that mirrors your aspirations, or perhaps listening to a piece of music specifically chosen for its ability to evoke feelings of triumph, determination, or profound clarity. The critical distinction here is the direct correlation between the sensory input and your specific definite purpose. This is not generic motivation. It is targeted emotional nourishment. By immersing yourself in these carefully selected sensory experiences, you are creating a feedback loop of motivation. You are reactivating the emotional charge of your purpose, reminding yourself at a deep, visceral level of the magnitude and significance of your mission. This deliberate infusion of positive, purpose-driven sensory input serves as a potent antidote to any lingering doubt, a strategic inoculation against the inevitable challenges the day may bring. It ensures that your spirit is uplifted, your focus sharpened, and your belief fortified. These three approaches, the gratitude catalyst, movement as momentum, and the purpose pulse, are not isolated activities to be performed in sequence. They are a synergistic process meticulously designed to saturate your entire being, mind, body, and spirit with the unwavering belief and enthusiasm essential for transforming thought into decisive action and action into tangible achievement. This comprehensive emotional fuel is what provides the staying power, the grit, and the relentless drive required to sustain persistence through every obstacle and setback. It ensures that you embark upon your day not merely with a plan, but with an unshakable conviction that you are an unstoppable force moving inevitably towards your grandest objectives. Now, having meticulously laid the mental groundwork, having armed ourselves with a clear purpose and infused our being with unwavering belief, it would be naive, even foolish, to assume the path ahead is entirely devoid of obstacles. For even with the most profound blueprint, the most fortified resolve, there exist formidable adversaries that threaten to derail our meticulously crafted morning intentions. These are what I term the dragons of dawn, insidious forces that lurk in the liminal space between slumber and conscious action. They manifest as the insidious lure of the snooze button, the mesmerizing pull of the endless digital scroll, the whispered temptation of just 5 more minutes that promises fleeting comfort but delivers lasting regret. This is where the profound wisdom of Napoleon Hill's principle of persistence transforms from a mere concept into your most essential shield, your most formidable weapon. Consider the nature of these dragons. They are not external foes. They are manifestations of our own inherent human inclination towards ease, towards the path of least resistance. To overcome them requires not brute force, but strategic ingenuity, a deep understanding of human psychology, and an unwavering commitment to self-discipline. This is not about fighting a losing battle against your own nature, but about intelligently structuring your environment and your mindset to make the desired action the inevitable choice. Are you consciously engineering your mornings for success, or are you leaving it to chance, hoping willpower alone will suffice against these cunning adversaries? The first strategic maneuver against these dragons of dawn is what I refer to as the pre-commitment contract. This is a profound application of organized planning and foresight, extending your will from the conscious decisions of the morning into the preparatory acts of the evening. It means orchestrating your immediate environment the night before, making the path of least resistance unequivocally the path to success. If your intention is to rise early and engage in a specific mental exercise, ensure your journal lies open beside your bed, pen at the ready. If a morning walk is paramount, lay out your attire, perhaps even your water bottle, so that the friction of decision and preparation is entirely removed from the vulnerable moments of early waking. This is more than mere convenience. It is a profound psychological weapon. By making these pre-commitments, you are essentially signing a contract with your future self, leveraging your conscious, rational mind when it is strongest, in the evening, to dictate the actions of your more susceptible, comfort-seeking self in the early morning. This proactive preparation disarms the temptation of procrastination before it even has a chance to take root. The choice is no longer, should I do this, but rather, the path has already been set. The next logical step is to simply execute. It is a testament to the power of foresight, a direct application of Hill's emphasis on meticulous planning as a precursor to monumental achievement. Reflect upon this. By removing the need for willpower in the crucial first moments, you conserve that precious resource for the more complex challenges of the day, demonstrating an astute understanding of human nature. Next, to combat the seductive whispers of doubt and the allure of immediate gratification, we employ what I call the why wall. Your definite purpose, that grand, overarching objective that drives your entire existence, must be ever present, particularly in those moments when your resolve might waver. It is insufficient for this purpose to reside solely in the abstract recesses of your mind. It must be made tangible, visceral, undeniable. Therefore, strategically place a visual reminder of your definite purpose, a clear, compelling image of your ultimate goal, a powerful quote that embodies your mission, or a carefully curated vision board in a location where it will be the very first thing your eyes encounter upon waking. Why this why wall? Because the fleeting comfort of the snooze button, the mindless escape of the digital scroll, pales in comparison to the burning desire for your ultimate aspiration. When faced with the micro-decision of embracing comfort or pursuing purpose, a powerfully visualized why serves as an immediate, potent psychological anchor. It reminds you, with undeniable clarity, why the initial discomfort of rising and engaging is not merely tolerable, but absolutely necessary. It reignites the emotional fire of your definite purpose, drawing upon the principles of desire and strong emotion that I so thoroughly explored. This why wall is not merely decorative. It is a constant, unwavering declaration to your subconscious, an unassailable argument against the fleeting temptations of inertia. It transmutes the struggle of waking into a profound act of dedication, aligning your earliest moments with your grandest ambitions. It transforms the mundane into the meaningful. Finally, and perhaps most crucially, we must address the foundation upon which all morning strength ultimately rests, the quality of your sleep. This leads us to the concept of mastermind your sleep. Many view sleep as a mere cessation of activity, a passive state of unconsciousness. But in the context of Hill's principles, particularly the power of the subconscious mind, sleep is a profoundly active and regenerative process. It is during these hours that your subconscious consolidates learning, processes information, and quietly works on solutions to the problems you presented to it throughout the day, and particularly during your mental mastermind hour. To neglect the quality of your sleep is to undermine the very engine of your mental and physical strength, rendering your morning rituals less potent, your willpower diminished, and your clarity obscured. Therefore, understand that preparing for a strong morning begins not at dawn, but in the preceding evening. Masterminding your sleep means cultivating a disciplined evening routine that optimizes your mental and physical restoration. This includes disengaging from stimulating activities, particularly digital screens, well before bed, ensuring your sleep environment is conducive to deep rest, and perhaps engaging in a calming ritual that signals to your body and mind that the time for restorative slumber has arrived. This is an act of profound self-mastery, a strategic investment in the energy and clarity you will demand of yourself in the morning. It is a recognition that true self-discipline extends beyond the waking hours, influencing the very quality of your consciousness. Neglecting the evening's preparation is akin to attempting to run a marathon on an empty stomach. The effort will be arduous, and the results inevitably compromised. Your evening routine is not an optional luxury. It is an indispensable component of your morning power. Remember, every successful individual, from the industrial giants like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford to the countless figures of enduring achievement I meticulously studied, understood this profound interconnectedness. They knew that consistent, deliberate action, particularly those quiet, seemingly small acts of preparation and self-discipline enacted at dawn, did not just facilitate a productive day. It built the very muscle of persistence, fortifying the character and sharpening the mind for the far greater battles that lay ahead. These are not mere suggestions. They are the proven blueprints for systematically conquering the dragons of dawn, transforming early morning struggles into unwavering triumphs that echo throughout your entire day, and indeed, your entire life. Having meticulously navigated the dragons of dawn and fortified your early hours with purposeful action and unwavering belief, we now arrive at a profound truth, one often overlooked by those who seek instantaneous results. This is the understanding of the compounding power of a strong morning, the undeniable force that ensures your definite purpose is not merely pursued, but inevitably manifested. Reflect upon this with the gravity it deserves. Each morning, you consciously choose to build strength. Each deliberate act of mental mastery, every decisive step of planning, every injection of enthusiasm, is not merely a single day won. It is, in fact, a brick meticulously laid, a crucial component added to the unshakable foundation of your future empire, the tangible realization of your grandest aspirations. Many mistakenly believe that success is a sudden, miraculous event, a stroke of good fortune that descends upon the deserving. This notion is a dangerous illusion, a fantasy that blinds individuals to the painstaking, consistent effort that invariably precedes any significant achievement. My studies of the truly successful, from the titans of industry to the luminaries of thought, revealed a universal principle at play: the compound effect. They understood with an almost religious conviction that small, seemingly insignificant efforts, when consistently applied over time, accumulate into a force so powerful, so immense, that it becomes an unstoppable tide, sweeping all obstacles before it. Your morning, therefore, is not an isolated event in your daily life. It is the daily ignition switch for this very compound effect, the starting point for a relentless, upward spiral of progress. Consider the implications of this. If day after day you dedicate your first waking hours to programming your subconscious mind with your definite purpose, to strategically planning your most impactful actions, and to infusing your being with an unshakable belief, what do you imagine the cumulative effect will be over weeks, months, or even years? The answer is not simply incremental improvement, it is exponential transformation. The person who arises with a clear intention and an activated will, consistently, becomes fundamentally different from the one who succumbs to inertia or mindless distraction. The gaps in skill, in clarity, in mental fortitude widen exponentially, leading to vastly divergent outcomes. This is not conjecture. It is the immutable law of consistent, purposeful action. Your morning is the most potent leverage point for initiating this compounding process. It is the time when your mind is freshest, most receptive, least cluttered by the anxieties and demands of the external world. To squander these golden hours is to forfeit your greatest opportunity for growth, to actively resist the very force that could propel you towards your dreams. Each strong morning you forge strengthens your mental muscles, sharpens your focus, deepens your conviction, and clarifies your path. These are not ephemeral gains. They are lasting internal assets that accumulate, making you increasingly resilient, increasingly capable, and increasingly effective in every endeavor you undertake. It is the systematic cultivation of the very traits that define true leadership and enduring success. This daily investment, though it may feel small in the immediate moment, is the bedrock upon which genuine transformation is built. Think of it as intellectual and emotional capital. Every focused thought, every strategic decision, every surge of enthusiasm you generate in your early hours is deposited into this account. And like all capital, it grows, it compounds, it multiplies. The clarity you gain on one morning helps you make better decisions on the next. The belief you cultivate fuels greater persistence in the face of subsequent challenges. The discipline you exercise reinforces the habit of self-mastery. This is how you systematically build the kind of personal power that makes the manifestation of your definite purpose not a remote possibility, but an inevitable outcome. The essence of this principle lies in understanding that your morning is not merely a preparation for your day. It is the daily ignition switch of your ultimate definite purpose. It is the vital connection point between your grand, long-term vision and the concrete, actionable steps you take right now. Without this consistent, deliberate activation, even the most magnificent purpose remains an abstract ideal, a shimmering mirage on the distant horizon. But with it, with the daily infusion of your will and your intention, that purpose becomes a living, breathing reality, drawing closer with each successive dawn. It is the process by which you translate the invisible energy of thought into the visible reality of achievement. Now pause and allow yourself a moment of deep reflection. Imagine with vivid clarity what your life could be like a year from now. How profoundly different, how immeasurably richer, how undeniably more aligned with your truest aspirations would your existence be if every single morning, without fail, you committed to forging a stronger version of yourself. If you consistently engaged in the mental mastermind hour, meticulously architected your day's conquest, and powerfully fueled your being with unwavering belief. The choice, my friend, is stark in its simplicity, yet monumental in its implications. It presents itself anew with every single sunrise. It is the choice between drifting with the currents of circumstance or becoming the undisputed master of your own ship, steering it with unwavering resolve towards the shores of your ultimate destiny. This profound realization is not a suggestion. It is an invitation to claim the power that has always resided within you, waiting for your disciplined command. Finally, we arrive at the pivotal moment, a juncture demanding more than passive contemplation, a point where the accumulated wisdom of these principles must transcend the realm of mere understanding and ignite the fire of decisive action. For what good is profound knowledge? What true benefit can be derived from the meticulously charted blueprints of success if they remain confined to the pages of a book or the fleeting images on a screen? My life's work, the summation of countless hours spent dissecting the achievements of the world's most successful individuals, unequivocally demonstrated this truth. Wisdom is not merely to be absorbed, it is, above all else, to be applied. It must be woven into the very fabric of your daily existence, transforming theoretical insight into tangible, demonstrable results. Consider this, then, with unwavering introspection. You have now been presented with a framework, a powerful and refined structure for systematically forging a morning that serves as the strategic launch pad for your definite purpose. You have seen how the mental mastermind hour can program your subconscious, how architecting your day's conquest can align your actions with your highest goals, and how the fuel of unwavering belief can imbue you with the emotional energy to overcome any obstacle. But which of these formidable pillars, which of these potent tools speaks most profoundly to your immediate need, your most urgent desire for transformation? Which one calls to you, demanding its immediate integration into the fabric of your coming dawn? To ponder this question deeply, to select that initial point of leverage, is the first critical step in becoming not merely a recipient of knowledge, but a true practitioner, an architect of your own destiny. Share that chosen path with conviction, for in the declaration of intent lies the genesis of action. This journey of self-mastery, of intentional creation, is not a solitary sprint, but a lifelong expedition, rich with discovery and continuous refinement. The principles I have unveiled are timeless, yet their application demands consistent effort, an ongoing commitment to growth, and an insatiable appetite for deeper understanding. Therefore, if the resonance of these truths stirs within you a yearning for further exploration, if the power inherent in these ideas compels you to seek more profound insights, then consider this an invitation to remain connected to the wellspring of wisdom, to continuously nourish your mind with the enduring philosophies that elevate the human spirit and empower extraordinary achievement. Your sustained engagement signals not just a casual interest, but a serious dedication to your personal evolution, a commitment that always yields abundant returns. Acknowledge, through your response, the value that speaks to your deepest aspirations, affirming your belief in the transformative power of a morning meticulously forged. The choice, ultimately, rests with you, as it always has and always will. Will you continue to observe the world from the periphery, allowing circumstance to dictate your trajectory? Or will you seize the reins of your own existence, beginning with the very first moments of your day? For understand this with absolute clarity. The day, in its truest, most impactful sense, does not begin simply when your eyelids flutter open to greet the nascent light. It commences with resounding certainty when you, and only you, make the conscious, deliberate, and resolute decision to become strong. It begins when you choose to wield the tools of thought, planning, and belief to sculpt your reality, rather than merely reacting to it. This is your moment of profound personal declaration. Step forward. Embrace the challenge. Take hold of the power that lies dormant within those silent, sacred hours before the world stirs. Go forth, therefore, not with hesitation, but with an unshakable conviction, an unwavering purpose, and an indomitable spirit. Go forth and conquer your dawn. For in conquering your dawn, you conquer your day, and in conquering your day, you systematically, inevitably, conquer your world.